you ready to learn how to use ChatGPT when it comes to finding job or for finding work? If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lai. I run a virtual assistant agency here in the Philippines called 2XU, and I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, when it comes to using ChatGPT for finding a job, a few things to keep in mind. First is never use ChatGPT as your final draft. Always think of it as your first draft. It will always give you the information that you ask for, but it doesn't have to be that's the right information that you need it to. Always make sure that you edit whatever output that you get from ChatGPT. So if you've never seen or heard of ChatGPT before, let me walk you through just quick basics of what it looks like. So first is you'll have this very just how can I help you today? ChatGPT is generally very helpful, and you have some sample prompts that you can use here, but I'll give you guys the prompts you can use to find a job using ChatGPT. And that's basically kind of part of the basics of how to be able to use this. Now, to start off, the first prompt that you want to put in to have ChatGPT help you finding a job is just going through, I need you to act as a world-class career coach. Are you ready? So then when you do that, usually it'll just like, yep, here, ready to help. So the first thing that you can use ChatGPT for is identifying your skills that you can offer for your possible employer. So let's say you have no idea yet what it is that you want to do, especially if you are changing basically from working at a BPO or a corporate job into wanting to work from home. You want to make that shift. So you want to first just kind of explore and have ChatGPT kind of help you outline what kind of jobs you can even do. So first prompt that you can ask it is, I'm trying to find a job. Ask me questions that can help you identify which jobs I can qualify for. So with this, ChatGPT will return a bunch of questions for you that will help it kind of, again, identify what kind of job. And without going into it, because it'll take more time. But you want to fill in, of course, your educational background, professional experience, so on and so forth. So what you would want to do is you would want to copy this and say, here are my answers. And you're gonna just paste it so it's easy for you to know what the questions were. So like educational background, I'm just gonna fill this up really quickly. So I just went ahead kind of filled it up as if I was starting over and basically as a writer. So I just filled out the things in between. Well, basically, that was basically what I just filled out. So then from there, ChatGPT can help you identify like, hey, you can be a freelance writer, you can be a remote editorial assistant, you can be a blogger, content marketer. So it already gives you what kind of jobs you can apply or qualify for. Next is you can use ChatGPT to help create your resume. So same thing is you can basically just ask ChatGPT to ask you the questions, ask me information that I can put into my resume, and then of course it'll ask you a lot of questions. And then since I don't want to go into and actually fill out all of the questions, I'm going to say pretend I filled it out. Can you write up the draft for my resume? So because I said, pretend I already filled it out. And so now it's writing out what should be in that resume. And of course, you can use tools like Canva to actually finalize creating your resume. But just like that, ChatGPT is already giving me the things that I can easily copy and paste and then put into Canva. And, if I did put in the time of answering its questions, then it would give me the more specific things that I can put into it. That's the main thing to keep in mind with ChatGPT is the more specific information you can give it, the more output that it can be specific to you. Next is you can ask ChatGPT to create your study plan. So as you're going into it and finding jobs, of course, a really good way to kind of further yourself is to start studying and upskilling yourself. So what I'll ask ChatGPT is basically, what do you recommend for me to study to get my skills upgraded? Can you write up a study plan for me? So that's basically what we'll put into ChatGPT to create that for you. So it'll just then give you a good study plan of things that you can do in the meantime as you're doing your job search. Next is, of course, you can then ask ChatGPT to write a cover letter for you. Now, what I always recommend when you're writing a cover letter or an application letter is always try to make it a response to the job ad that you're writing it for. So as a really good, just quick example, I will paste this here. Like, can you write up a cover letter for being a writer? And let's say that I had a sample job ad basically that I had on here, then I would actually paste it here and say, right here is the job ad. And basically what you would want to do is just paste that job ad on there. That way you are writing a customized cover letter or application letter to that employer instead of just giving it a generic kind of cover letter, application letter. But here we're just going to say, can you write up the cover letter for being a writer? And of course, it will write up that for you. Next is you can ask ChatGPT to help you when it comes to preparing you for your interview. So a prompt that you can easily use is, can you help me prepare for my interview and ask me questions and give feedback? So with ChatGPT as your acting career coach, it'll ask you a lot of the questions, basically how to answer this better. So once, let's say I answered all of these questions on here, just typed it out, ChatGPT can give me the feedback of like, hey, how can I basically improve on this response? How I can do better so I can get the job. Next is you can use ChatGPT when it comes to upgrading your LinkedIn account, your profile basically, so it looks better for possible employers. You can basically use the prompt of, can you write up what I should have on my LinkedIn account, like the headline, bio, and experiences. So putting that in, and of course ChatGPT will write that up for you, of like, passionate writer, being communication arts, so on and so forth, and all of that detail basically that you would need to put normally into your LinkedIn profile. Next is you can ask ChatGPT to write up follow-up emails. Let's say you have not heard from your possible employers yet, you can use ChatGPT to write up those emails. So you can simply go and ask it, I haven't heard from the places I applied for. Can you give me a few follow-up emails I can send? This way you can easily just copy and paste this. Again, customize it. Treat it as a first draft. Never just accept what ChatGPT says. But you can go ahead and then just send these emails, make it your own, make it sound like you, and just use them as a first draft so you can actually start sending them out to employers that either you've talked to before or just a general follow-up on your application. Next is one thing I always say is to always track where you've applied so then you know who to follow up with. So you can ask ChatGPT to create a really quick table or database for you. So basically just ask, can you create a table for me to be able to track my application? So it will actually normally would, like right there, kind of made it into a code. So let's wait for it to load a little bit. But with this, each column should have the application date, company name, position applied for, status, follow-up date, and initial note. So this is just a quick way for you if you have no idea at all where to start when it comes to tracking applications. You can use ChatGPT to give you ideas on how to do that. Next is, of course, you can ask ChatGPT for best practices on how you can get a job. So easy prompt, what are best practices for me to get the job, basically. So of course ChatGPT will give you a breakdown of like, clarify your goals, create a compelling resume, optimize your LinkedIn profile. So it'll give you really good advice on how you can get unstuck if you've been stuck trying to find a job. And lastly, you can use ChatGPT to kind of help you problem solve and basically just become more of your career coach. You can basically just prompt it with, I'm struggling with getting a job. Can you coach me, basically, how to get a job faster? So again, gives you solid advice. And it could be that, let's say you're struggling with your interviews. You can ask like, hey, I'm struggling with my interviews. Can you give me more tips on how I can do this better? Or, hey, I'm struggling with writing my application letter. Can you give me better advice on how I can approach this? So of course, ChatGPT will only really give you the best that it can when it comes to information, and keep using basically what you prompt it as kind of like a thought of like, oh, this person needs this, let me give you that. The best way to think of ChatGPT is always that it is a kind of a brain in the box. Like it knows everything and will always try to give you the information that you asked it for. So every time that you think of like, hey, I need help with this, I need help with that, you can ask ChatGPT to help brainstorm ideas and hopefully get you a job. Now, if you guys like this video, of course, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below. What are the ways that you've used ChatGPT and what are the ways that you wish you can use ChatGPT for? I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day and that small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.